So I had had it on about 45 minutes, and I walked out to the kitchen to get water. And he said, "What's the difference?" I thought, "Difference? I have no pain. Have never been able to turn from my waist since 1980. I'm in the car, turn this baby on, and automatically pivoted from my waist. I got so excited.
Hey, Patricia, thanks so much for coming to spend some time with me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Well, I'm excited to hear your story. You're so adorable. And so, can you start off by just telling the listeners a little bit about how you were feeling prior to coming to QHS?
Oh, before I came to QHS, I have multiple rather serious medical problems, and I was feeling pretty lousy. And things like chronic acute Epstein-Barr syndrome that left me totally paralyzed, totally for 8 months, 3 years ago. And we got through that, and it was a bit of a medical nightmare. And it's just been one ugly little thing after another. But I have to tell you, I got my device. This is the first device I've ever had. Exactly 4 weeks ago, I got it on the 12th of October, 2023. And when it arrived, my friend said to me, just call the doctor and get drugs, because I was on my cane. I had sciatica for 5 weeks, could not get comfortable, just couldn't. On the average, until I got the device, for years, I sleep between 1 and 3 hours a night. And when I got the device the first day, everyone had said, "Oh, we're sleeping." Well, first night, I didn't really see any big difference. The second night, Tracy, I slept 9.5 hours. I,
Oh,
I,
hallelujah.
hallelujah. I got up, and my neighbors who were used to seeing me sit outside and have coffee at 5:30 in the morning, and I wave at them and I talk to their dogs. They all got in kind of a panic. What's wrong with her? The old lady is not on the patio. And I have been sleeping very well for the last month. That afternoon, I'd gotten the device about 1:30, and I, plugged it up as we do with new electronics. And then I saw it wasn't blinking anymore, and I took it off and I put it in my bra. I didn't have a lanyard for it. And I got very thirsty, and I went out to the kitchen, and my host was sitting at the table. And in the morning, he had told me, just call and get drugs. And I said, no, if I take drugs and the device comes, we won't know what's causing a difference. So I'm going to tough this out. And he was very disgusted, just get drugs. So I had had it on about 45 minutes, and I walked out to the kitchen to get water. And he said, "What's the difference?" I thought, "Difference? I have no pain. I have no pain in 45 minutes. Now, it may have started before that or stopped. I haven't had pain in 1 month. Now
Oh,
it gets better. I know it doesn't seem
I
like
have
it could.
chills all over, even on my tummy.
Oh, good, good. As long as you're not nauseous, it's okay. This morning, I got dressed and I put on this shirt that I've had for 20 years. I have not been able to button it, not because my fingers weren't working, that's another story, but it didn't fit. It wouldn't go across my chest. and the twins wanted air, and I'd wear a cami underneath. And this morning I put it on just to try it. It buttons. It's got room. So, and it's my favorite shirt. But
Oh,
beside that, about 8 weeks ago, I took it into the tailor because here in the desert, things dry rot and the buttons had fallen off. And I very carefully got buttons that would match and whatever. And I took it into the tailor and he said to me, "Oh, getting lazy." I said, "No, I can't hold a needle and thread." He said, "No, I know you sew." I said, "Listen, I can't see to thread the needle and I can't hold the needle. And here, do it." So he charged me $1 a button. Okay, I was glad to have it, thinking, well, I'll wear it like a jacket. No, no. Now I'm going to wear it like a shirt. And it's just so many little tiny things, and you don't realize until you go to do something. And this, what I'm going to share with you now, is probably the best thing. On December 26th, 1980, I was 6 months pregnant and I had a devastating car accident. Got hit broadside by a truck, broke my back in 3 places. And since then, I mean, I've gone through physical therapy, I've gone through a lot. And they got me on my feet. It took 2 years. The baby was born and walked before I could get out of a wheelchair. Okay. On Wednesday of last week, I went to a farmer's market here in town. And you know, it wasn't parallel parking. You have to park in on a funky angle. Well, normally, to back out of that, I would get out of the car, go back and stop traffic, and have the car behind me hold traffic up till I could get out, because I could not turn very much from my shoulders, have never been able to turn from my waist since 1980. I'm in the car, turn this baby on, and automatically pivoted from my waist. I got so excited. I mean, it was like, oh my God, I did this. I can't believe it. I wanted to stop and just dance in the street, but I didn't. I kept going backward. I came home and I kept spending the whole day turning. The next day, for 2 days, I could not move. I was hurting so bad because I haven't used those muscles, those ligaments, none of those joints in 43 years. So for me to say, oh, I don't see any difference, oh no. And I wasn't expecting this. I didn't expect to ever pick up another needle and thread. And I did a lot of sewing. I had been a dancer as a younger person. And I know, not funky dancing. I mean, I was a dancer. I did ballet and I was a singer. And many people have joined QHS based on the following. I lost my voice right after my husband died, and that's almost 16 years ago. But no one could tell me why. We didn't know what to do about it. And the doctors were like, oh, well, we'll give you this or we'll give you that. Well, for many years, I did a radio program on alternative health and healing. And I take as little as possible. You never know what the results will be. And usually it's the negative results that get our attention. So I toughed it out. And I had been sent to a doctor in New York City who was bragging that he had done the surgery for Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews can't sing anymore. And she had to be silent for 2 years to be able to speak. Well, I've been an international business consultant since 1980, oh God, 87. And being able to speak is something I'm not willing to give up. Based on the difference in the first 2 weeks of my voice, I think there are about 28 people who have joined QHS.
Wow, that's
So
amazing. So your voice that I'm hearing right now
it's
is
coming,
totally
it's,
different voice to
yes, yes, absolutely, because it's not gravelly. I'm not losing parts of it. Now, I haven't, admittedly, I haven't tried singing, and I probably won't for a long time. I just feel like I'm being totally restored. And I have stamina. I mean, and my hair seems to be growing back. I don't, well, it's so white, you probably can't see it, but I actually have fuzzy wuzzies. And I didn't. I had very serious bald spots. Now, I've never had the vaccines. I have not had COVID, thank God. But um, I lost my hair because when I was in bed with Epstein-Barr, I could not raise my hands to comb or brush my hair or my teeth. And I was dependent upon the women in the neighborhood coming in and getting me out of bed and dressing me. I couldn't do that. And this, I mean, I am so blessed. So this morning, I can tell you that my attitude has changed. I've always been a pretty positive person, but if you step on my foot, I'm going to step on your face, and you're never going to forget. No, my first husband came up with that one. He said, "Oh, don't cross her." No, I'm very supportive of most people, but once you set the groundwork, I don't give up. I'm sorry. Now, see those fingers wiggling?
They can sew.
They can bend. They were cramped down. They weren't opening. This is in a month. And if you look, I have little knobbies. That's my name for them. I'm sure there is a great medical term for it. I cannot extend this. That's in the past year, but we're getting there. This hand, my right hand is my dominant hand. This hand was in this condition a month ago. So that the knobbies are going down. I'm feeling like a human. I have hope, and I want everyone to do this. And it's passive. Oh, Lord, what do we want? This could only be a gift from God.
Oh
It's
my gosh, Patricia, this has been the loveliest testimonial. I mean, I am just so moved by your results.
it. Who could ask for this? I wouldn't have the courage to ask for one thing, never mind all of these things. And I have to tell you, I'm really hesitant to tell my friends who have the device because they're getting jealous. But you know what? I think part of it is that I am the crazy praying woman. If you need intercessory prayer, I'm your girl. Call me. I will step into that gap, and I will cover the people who can't do. Now, if they won't do it for themselves, it doesn't matter what we do. The Lord has to agree with them, not somebody else. But if they can't do it, that's what I do. And I think that's part of it. And
Oh
the
yeah.
other part is I don't just take stuff. I eat a pretty clean diet. Um, I'm pretty careful, but oof.
That is amazing. I love it. And then pretty soon, hopefully, God willing, in the near future, we get to go into the Q arc and restore our bodies to 30 years old, complete, perfect health.
Can
What
you
are you
imagine?
going to do?
I was mighty cute at 30.
You're
You
still
know,
mighty cute.
well, you're very kind, but my hair was almost black and long and curly. And, you know, chemotherapy will change your hair. And it did. And I mean, poof, can you imagine coming out of the Q arc and what it will do for us? I said on one of the chats, "Oh, can you imagine going to a class reunion?"
I just had mine, and I was so hoping that I'd have gone through the Q arc by then.
Oh,
But
but honey, you're beautiful and you're healthy and slim, and look at that gorgeous hair. Of course. And everyone had to be going, what is she doing? Do you think she had surgery?
well, thank you. But I wanted to, have this all
No.
done, and but it didn't happen. But it's okay. It's going to happen next time.
Well, that's what I was hoping, that it would get rid of some of my wrinkles. But you know what? I can't complain, can I? I mean,
Oh,
Saturday I was 77.
yeah.
So,
You're
you
looking
know,
good.
people at 77 don't get better. They don't improve. And here I am to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm going to share this video with my family because this is remarkable. But I want to hear what you're going to do with a healthy 30-year-old body.
Oh, maybe things I didn't do when I was 30. I was pretty adventuresome. I was a competitive ice skater, and I've done a lot of physical damage because I never saw whether I was dancing or I was skating. And it's all basically the same mechanism in your brain. I couldn't see a leap, a spin, a turn that I couldn't do deeper, higher, stronger. And I damaged my joints. And then when I stopped, when I moved away from the city, I became a runner, 4 miles a day, 7 days a week. Nobody said, don't do this. They said, oh, well, that's fine. Just keep running, which I did until I had the car accident in 80. And then I was in a wheelchair, or I was in bed, 3 months in bed. And then physical therapy at the Kessler Institute for 2 years, learning how to walk, all sorts of tough stuff. But it all prepared me so that I am so appreciative right now. And I made notes. So I wanted to talk to you about sciatica, which we did, sleep, my hair, stamina, which is off the charts, my attitude, which is, and the clarity of mind. Um, in light of everything that's being taught between the key calls, and which I love, and all of the things that Thomas is teaching, and they fall right in line with everything I believe. And my hands and the weight, oof, I don't know how much better it can get when I come out of the Q arc. I don't know. But that's why I wanted to be able to be a volunteer and to help others, because a lot of our members have had great results, but there are enough who haven't, who need cheering on, and they need the love to keep them going. And I can only imagine, if someone wasn't prepared for this, ooh, what are they going to do afterward?
Yeah. Did you see Cynthia's video she did about the God Spark that was just
I did.
released?
I did.
So what you said just made me wonder if it's because they're not influencing their own body's God Spark by having doubt.
Yes, I believe that, because I have a friend who has had sciatica for about 3.5 months and has seen the difference in me. This is someone whom I run into every day. And I said, they want to do surgery, they want to do this and do that. I said, why don't you just get a device? Oh, that won't work for me. Well, if you make that decision before time, nothing will. It's,
Yeah.
we have to be open, because that, the East Indians say namaste. It means the light of God in me acknowledges the light of God in you. Very lovely way of greeting people. And if we don't recognize our own God spark, how can it work for us? And
Right.
granted, my thought process is not precisely mainstream in any way, shape, or form. I don't see one group of people as more blessed than another, superior, inferior. I don't see that. And I've worked and lived all over the world. And I don't see the differences, I see the similarities. And I would like to see everyone noticing, hey, we're all alike. And if it works for that old lady, it should work for me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Totally. It's like that runner. I can't remember his name, but Jim Bannister or something like that. They used to think it was physically impossible to run a sub 4-minute mile.
right.
It's just
And
you couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden, one man broke the record, and immediately following, one after another, that record just kept breaking because now they saw what's possible.
Well,
So,
it's as though, if we sit back and we wonder, how is it that basically the same invention will come up all over the world at the same time? Do you think that the humans are suddenly coming up with this, or is it being infused into these various people simultaneously? They're, you know, and that's happened throughout human history. So we have to be open to all potentiality.
right.
You know?
Well said. And I think the shift that we've been experiencing the last few years has definitely helped. I mean, I used to be just a Bible thumping mama, did years and years and years of everything like that. But now I'm like, whoosh, this whole realm of, you know, of reality that I never knew existed, but it's so exciting to embrace. And I've leaned into it 100% because it just like my inner knowing just knows it's real.
It resonates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we have people um come on, the Vibe tribe, who are not Christian. And they sometimes, you'll see them be uncomfortable. And it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be, because the same God who made us, our God spark, created all of them, everyone. It doesn't matter what group they belong to, what wrapping they come in, whether we're black, white, green, yellow, pink, orange, doesn't matter. We're all alike.
Yeah,
Basic systems. We're all made in his image. What
right.
a sense of humor. I mean, really, look at it. If we look at the things that and this is what I try to do, every dogma, it doesn't matter who's putting it forward, has some truth in it. And instead of looking for the separations between them, look at the parts where they come together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we'll find the truth.
Yeah, Thomas is good at that. I just, oh my gosh, I don't know if they announced it yesterday on Vibe Tribe, but did they tell you guys about Julie's special call she's doing for WOW on Thursday?
Yes, yes.
Oh, good.
Good.
So
Yeah.
here's a good story for you. So this morning at 4 o'clock, I woke up and I looked at my clock and I heard this voice, get up and listen to Julie's videos. And I'm like, no, it's too early, but I have a packed day, like 100% packed day. And so I turned over and I went back to sleep. And then I woke up 15 minutes later and it was like, get up and watch Julie's videos. So I'm like, darn it. Okay. So I watched 3.5 so far. I have to finish number 4 because she wants me to experience everything before
Right.
Thursday. So I can tell you guys what I felt, So, but that was definitely the Lord telling me to, I have to do this. So I did.
Yeah. Well, and if you learn to listen, and that's what we do, I mean, that 8 months that and this is very interesting, the 8 months that I laid in bed, I prayed for everyone I knew needed prayer by name. And one day, one of my friends from Europe called and she said, "Oh, you sound terrible. What's wrong with you?" And I told her, "I'm paralyzed and whatever." So she called back. This is a woman who does not know me very well, didn't know anything about my family, really didn't know me well, although I had done something very special for she and her husband, and which remains to be spoken about. So she puts a lady on the phone with me, and I said, "I cannot speak now." And they said, "Okay." They sent the phone number on a text because the phone was the only way I could communicate. I couldn't call out. I didn't have voice. I'd have to phone people, dial them up. Please, and the house was never locked. Please come and turn me over. Please come and help me sit up. I need to get to the bathroom, which was on a walker, a rollator that it was a fiasco. So this gal gets on the phone with me. I finally called her. She said, "Well, you're stubborn." I said, "What are you? What do you do?" She said, I am an evidentiary psychic." Well, like you, I was a Bible thumping mama, and we don't do psychics. And I said that. I don't do psychics. She said, "Look, I'm a Christian. I was born this way. In the couple of weeks you haven't called, I have 5 pages of single-spaced notes for you." I thought, well, the gal who introduced us couldn't have given her information. So I said, "Okay," but in my mind, I thought, "We're not giving you any information, honey. You'll have nothing to go from." So she said, "Well, obviously you're going to be resistant. So now I'm not saying anything." She said, "Just give me 5 words." So I give her 5 words. One was the first name, a woman's first name, or a girl or a dog or somebody. Location, alone as a question. Finances, and wanting to know about the RV. All right. And I don't remember the 5th thing. The very first thing she hones in on is, "Well, let's talk about your daughter." The hair on my arm stood up. "Talk about my daughter? How do you know?" Because the other woman didn't know a thing about my family. And she goes through this whole list. I just gave her words. And then at the end, she said to me, "Girlfriend," mind you, I've never met her before. She said, "Girlfriend, I'm being told that you pray for everybody all day and all night. God wants you to pray for yourself." And I thought, I'm guilty. Yeah, I started to cry. I said, "How do you know that?" She said, "I get my information directly from God. Jesus gives me information." And I'm like, all right, I'll pray for myself." She said, "No, out loud." this is weird enough, but I'm going to pray out loud for me. Right. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for somebody I've never met. That changed the way I do things. And then I began to realize all the things we've been taught are wrong are not necessarily wrong. If her gift is any different than a prophet in a church who took a class on how to be a prophet, but she was born that way. And then the funniest thing was she said to me, "You're planning on moving. Where are you planning on going?" I said, "Well, I'm not quite sure yet." She said, "Honey, wherever you're planning on going, you cannot go." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because they're all inbred." Well, I didn't respond. And at the end, she said, "Where are you planning on moving?" I said, "West Virginia." All the jokes about West Virginia came out, and I said, "Yeah, God does have a sense of humor, doesn't he?"
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and I have a lot of friends and family in West Virginia, and they're not all inbred. But sometimes we need to be told it's okay to laugh
Oh, yeah.
because, oh, yeah. And I mean it. If you need prayer, you call me.
Well, now that you're my new best friend, I feel like I know you. I mean, are you part of LWS?
I am, but I was brought into LWS after I was part of QHS
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're new.
because our friend, well, I've been doing the LWS stuff for years, but not having a name for it.
Mm,
And I absolutely love Ron Giles.
me too.
What a sweetie pie. He's
Well,
so sincere.
he's lovely. And I just interviewed him and Alex and Will Barney all together last night. So that's coming out tomorrow.
Oh, that had to be something else.
It was really fun. We had a good
What a
time.
dynamic group they make together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was super fun. So, my dear, what would you like to say in closing?
Never give up. Never. Even when things seem impossible, never give up. Because our vision, wait, I have to tell you something. Our vision is always short-sighted. God has a plan. He has a way. Oh, his vengeance is way worse than ours could be. So don't even go there. The one thing I forgot to tell you is that I have a visual problem called corneal dystrophy. And when I was about 42, I was told by a very good friend who was my surgeon ophthalmologist that by the time I was 75, I would have had 3 corneal transplants, which is the max one should have, or at least at that point it was. And that this condition would attack either a natural cornea, so it was donated, or an artificial cornea, which was very new at that time. And he said it wouldn't matter that the end of the line by 75 would be total blindness. I have never had any eye surgery, thank God, touch wood. And my vision, which 3 months ago, I was literally going blind. Now it's clearing. It's clearing.
Oh,
This
Howard.
morning, yes, I sat out and it was that, and I take my glasses off and I look to see how good or bad it is. And what was happening was that it's like you're looking through a screen and there are rips, and the spaces were coming together. What's on the far side of the screen was black. So they're coming together. Now I look out and they're gray. They're moving apart. I can now see fine lines where the dystrophy is. they're not blending. And because I had made up my mind that I would have to go and be looked at by someone very special, and I will have to have my eyes checked, of course. But poof. So when I say don't give up, and with the device, if you can rest into it, don't fight it. You don't, I suspect, I could be wrong, but I suspect it heals the most egregious problems first.
Mhm.
And then as that recedes, it goes on to the next most pressing things. Because I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And I'm so glad that you are so in touch with yourself that you are noticing all of these things. And I feel that with people who say they don't notice much, they're just not, they don't have that same level of awareness. And so they just need to learn to get it. And that's what I think is so beautiful, how we have Vibe, Tribe, and Key. And, we have Wow to just really help us to take better care of ourselves in, mind, body, and spirit, right?
Yes,
So it all goes together.
absolutely. Yeah.
And you're on top of the game, my friend Patricia.
Well, we try. We do try. And,
Beautiful.
sometimes we succeed and sometimes, oh, well, try again.
Exactly. And that's the important thing, is just don't stop. Like you said, keep on trying, get up and do it again.
And you want to know what I want out of the QR?
What?
As long a life as I can be contributing to society, that I can be helping. It's not about me. It's about helping others. When you're not helping others, why are you here? So I want to be useful. There we go.
Perfect ending. Well, thank you, my darling. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story. And I look forward. Will you come back and do a part 2 after the Q arc?
Of course I will, if you want me.
I do.
Okay. You be blessed.
Thank you.
Thank
You as
you.
well. And I'll see you next
Bye.
time.
Thank you for making this QHS project fly. This valorous admin team, thank you. The Key community welcomes you. Thank you for making your home QHS healthy and happy. Thank you for helping us place QH centers all around the world. Together, hand in hand, we make miracles happen. QuantumHealingSystems.org. Thank you.